Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Frankie. If this is your first time here, today's video is a story time.
Not again.
I don't want to tell this story on my channel since I did my first story time because I just think the whole situation is funny. This is the story of the time that a girl tried to drown me over a boy. She wanted to take me out the game, child. It sounds serious, but to me the situation is kind of funny. Like, you really try to drown me? I'm still alive, stink. You gotta try harder than that. Always, I'm gonna just be doing my makeup while I tell the story. This is how it ended up. I feel like the makeup not interesting enough for me to list everything that I use, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time that I post a video. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, because I like that. Okay, we can jump right into the story now. I'm apologizing in advance if you can hear my air when it turns on and off, but girl, it's too hot to be playing them type of games. Also, I have a pimple. If you say anything about it, that's racist. So this story takes place when I was 12. Yes, I said 12. This is one of the first situations that let me know that some people are just born delusional. When I was 12, my parents moved to this apartment complex. It was in the same city that we had been living in since I was like 10. And when I was 12, I was kind of shy. I was real quiet. So it wasn't super hard for me to make friends, but like it wasn't the easiest. Like, I don't know. But when I moved around here, I made friends pretty fast. And I guess that's because I feel like kids and adults are similar in the way that like new is interesting to them. I guess that would just be human nature in general. So because I was the new girl around the neighborhood, I guess I was interesting. So it wasn't that hard for me to make friends. I don't know, I was just really comfortable around there. So I adapted pretty well. I'm 26 years old. So, you know, being 12 today is way different than being 12 when I was 12. When I was 12,
Be outside!
we was outside. It didn't matter the weather, none of that. We was outside, like, period. So like I said, when this situation that I'm about to tell y'all about happened, I was 12, meaning I was still in middle school. Majority of my friends were also in middle school. However, because we was all outside all the time, I knew the older kids in my neighborhood too, like the kids that were in high school. And there was this one boy in my neighborhood that I must say, majority of the girls who lived in my neighborhood liked him. Like, he was one of those. We're gonna call him Brian. So Brian, but I didn't like Brian. And it is important to understand that I did not like Brian. I cannot tell you how many times people thought that I liked Brian, and I did not like Brian. I didn't like Brian because I liked Brian's little brother. My child just started blasting his iPad. I feel like it is very obvious that I didn't like Brian because I very loudly liked Brian's little brother. That is important. That is important to remember. I liked Brian's little brother. I just had to go be a mom. So I don't really know where I was in this story, but I'm gonna just start where I think I was. So yeah, I guess it would be safe to say that Brian was my friend. So like I said in the beginning, kids and adults are similar in the way that new is interesting. After I had moved there and lived there for a little while, these two girls moved into my neighborhood. They were sisters. I want to call them Lexus and Ruby. I am so funny. Lexus was the older sister. She was probably 16. At least 15. Did I say how old Brian was? I don't know if I did, but Brian was 16. And once again, I was 12. Ruby was closer to my age. I think she was like 13. I don't know. Everybody is always older than me. But I know for sure that Lexus was 15 or 16. So like I said, new is interesting. So when they moved around there, everybody was kind of interested in them. The first time I ever was outside, when they came outside, like, you know, everybody was talking to them, gathering information on them, trying to know things about them, just regular kid stuff. We was just all trying to get to know them. I don't know what eye this eyelash girl. I'm gonna say this. My neighbors stay like looking up at my balcony. Mind your business. My eyelash is plotting against me. Are you friends with Lexi? When everybody was in Lex's and Ruby's spaces, you know, trying to get to know them and stuff, I wasn't. Like, I was sitting there with everybody else, like, when they was talking to them, but I wasn't asking them questions and stuff, because, like I said, like, that's just not my personality, especially not at 12 late. I wasn't going to talk to you. So, I don't know if that, like, kind of rubbed, what I named her? Alexis the wrong way or what? Like, I don't know. But I just always kind of got this sense that, like, she didn't really like me. Me and Ruby were cool. Like I said, we were closer in age. So, we weren't besties or nothing. But, like, we were cool. Like, we would talk if we was both outside at the same time. Like, there was never no problem. But Lexis didn't like me. And she ain't have to say it. It was just like, you know, like, I'm not stupid. If somebody don't like you and they act like a little funny around you, you could always pick up on that, unless you just completely oblivious. And that was fine by me. Like, I wasn't trying to be her friend anyway. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna lose sleep because you don't like me. However, I didn't know exactly how deep her dislike for me went. I forgot to mention another person that they're not like extremely important to the story. I just think that this is funny. There was this girl that lived in my neighborhood as well. I'm just calling her Destiny for the sake of needing to give her a name, but she's really not that important to the story. And she could not stand me. And do you want to know why she didn't like me? Because Brian. I don't know what was wrong with these bitches, what was going on in their head, like what the delusion was, but I did not like Brian at all. Very openly like Brian's brother. I did not want that boy, and he did not want me. Like I said, he was like 15, 16 years old, and I was 12. Brian probably paid me the most attention, maybe, but I promise you that was literally because I liked his little brother. It was like having a big brother that I didn't ask for, but because of him and how cool he was with me, the girl just wasn't a fan of me. So when Lexis didn't like me and the girl Destiny, is that what I named her, didn't like me either, mad bitches link up. So they were both just not liking me. I started to catch on because when we would be outside, if Brian would be outside as well, she would have an attitude with me. Not that like he was ignoring her for me or none of that. It's just like the pure fact that he would speak to me would irritate her. And I started to notice. So I've been a petty princess all my life. So when I started to notice that that's why she didn't like me, I started to be even more like talkative toward Brian, like more in his face than I usually would. Cause girl, you don't like me, I'm gonna give you a reason not to. Might as well. One day I mentioned it to Brian, just like out of nowhere. I kind of was just like, you know, my child. I said, Brian, are you aware of the fact that Lexis likes you? And him being completely oblivious is like, no, like what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, she likes you and she don't like me because of you. So he's like, nah, telling me I'm tripping and stuff. I'm like, boy, I'm not stupid, I have eyes. She treat me funny as fuck when you around. Like, he insisted that I was wrong, child. So whatever, I just left it at that with him because he won't go and do nothing about the situation even if he was completely aware. So I didn't say anything to Lexis about it when I realized it because, like, girl, look, I don't know, like, what I'm gonna say? You don't have anything to worry about. No. You wanna be weird, I'm gonna make you feel like you got something to be worried about. So it was around sometime and nothing pretty much was happening. Like, it was just she didn't like me, I didn't care. And that was the dynamic. Nothing else was coming from it until the pool opened. So when the pool opened in our complex, everybody was at the pool. It was a cute little time. And who else was at the pool? Lexis. Lexus was at the pool. So when I first got in the pool and stuff, I kind of was just, you know, keeping my distance, minding the business that paid me over there with my friends. Like, it's not like it's a little pool, it's a pretty big area, so we don't have to be beside each other. But in the pool, you know, you play pool games. One of the pool games that people play in the pool is chicken. I think that's what that game is called, chicken, right? I'm pretty sure that that's what the game is called, chicken. But basically, when there are two people and then there are two more people and they're around their necks, and the goal is to knock the other person off of that person's neck. Ain't that chicken? One of my friends went over there to play chicken. My friend had lost or whatever, meaning that the other person knocked her off. And then I heard my name being called. So I look up and it's Lexus and she's like, you want to play? It didn't occur to me that, like, you know, she wanted me to play for a reason. That thing went off in my head because, like, we're at a public pool with multiple people around. What's gonna happen? Nothing about the situation screamed dangerous to me. So I was just like, okay, sure, I'll play. Like, I like playing chicken. It was fun. It was funny to do. Like, it was a cool little game. So I went over there and, you know, I'm around the dude's neck, going regularly how chicken goes, and she knocks me off. After she knocks me off, Mama proceeds to jump into the water and she holds my head under the water. Like, we are both in the water at this point, and she has her hands on my head trying to keep my head under the water. As it was happening, I was mind blown. Like, are you kidding me? I could not believe that she was really trying to drown me. And it's like, you're probably thinking like, oh, you're being dramatic, like trying to drown you. No, I'm not being dramatic. I wish I was being dramatic. She literally was trying to keep me underwater when I was very much so, like, visibly trying to get her off of me. I don't know where everybody else was looking, or if they thought maybe we was just playing, because ain't nobody do nothing. And you know, when you in distress, a couple seconds seems like a lifetime. So the whole situation probably was no longer than 30 seconds, but it felt like forever to me. My head just underwater, child. I can't breathe. So after she had been holding my head down for a little bit, I managed to, like, pull her underwater. And so she had to get off of me, because if she didn't get off of me, I wasn't gonna get off of her. If you gonna try to drown me, I'm gonna try to drown you. So once I managed to get Miss Girl off of me, I got out the pool. Like, I was pissed at this point. My child be blasting this iPad. Like, baby, you can't hear that? I said, once I managed to get Miss Girl off of me, I kind of was done with the pool. But I wasn't done with her, because it was one thing when you didn't like me, so you kind of were rude to me. It's something else if you, like, just don't fuck with me, you don't want to be around me or whatever. But we reaching all new territory when you're trying to hold my head underwater.
This is getting domestic now.
So, bitch, I ain't never did nothing to you, and it ain't no reason for you not to like me. You and that bitch you hang out with are weird, because like I said and been saying, I very openly like this boy's little brother. So I left the pool, I went home because I had to regroup, child. I was mad. The next day I went outside pretty early, and I just was sitting at the playground. Just so happened to see Lexus. I came outside ready to fight. This child, I said I was reserved. I ain't never been scared. So I straight up just asked Lexus, you want to fight? I guess she wasn't expecting me to be, like, so forward about it. She was like, well, I don't want to fight you. I don't know, Miss Girl, why would you want to drown me? Clearly you got a problem. She was just like, no, I don't want to fight you. I said, well, it seems as though you have a problem with me, because you have this attitude with me that you've had since I pretty much met you. I haven't said anything about it, because bitch, I don't care about nobody having no attitude with me. But when you get to the point where you're trying to hold my head underwater, Miss Girl, clearly you have a problem. So what is your problem? Because, well, I was just playing. Like, I don't really have no problem with you. Like, it was just a joke. I said, well, girl, I don't play like that. Like, that's not the type of games that I want to play. You playing with my life. I don't like that. I very clearly can tell that you like Brian. I also can tell that you think that I like Brian, or that Brian likes me. I don't know if you know this, but I'm 12. Okay, I'm 12. I'm in middle school, and at this point, he was like a senior in high school. Me and Brian were so far apart in age that we never went to the same school. By the time I got to high school, he had graduated. Basically said to her, if you like him, shoot your shot, but don't take your problems with that up with me, because I ain't got nothing to do with that. And she was just like, oh no, like I said, I was just playing, like it wasn't even no problem for real. I said, okay, well I'm glad we won't be having any more problems, because bitch, you pushing the line now. So that was that with her. Like, me and her really ain't had no more interaction after that. I feel like not long after that, her family got like evicted or something, because she kind of just wasn't living around there anymore. But not long after the situation, I did have a conversation with Brian in which he told me that I was right and that she did like him. Duh, stupid. She liked you. I told you she liked you. The girl tried to kill me because she liked you. It's like little boys just hit 10 years old, and from that point on, they're just like oblivious. But that's not a hit no there. That didn't have nothing to do with me. Lexus was gone, and that was pretty much the end of my issues with other girls involving Brian. I did have a little situation with the girl that I mentioned in the story, Destiny, but that situation wasn't really funny to me. Yeah. Moral of the story is these bitches be delusional. Don't let shit slide with these bitches. Don't let the little passive aggressiveness, the little attitude slide, because if you let shit slide, shit gets slippery. When you a bad bitch, the bitch is gonna hate. And don't play chicken with a bitch that you know don't like you, because she gonna try to drown you. It's the end of my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was short. I feel like it was real easy to tell that story because it was pretty fast. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Also, give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, because I'll really be on there. And until next time, I will see you later.